How's that? Beautiful, huh? Especially piping up all around this stuff. Obviously, don't mind the wiring, but we got nice and straight. Beautiful that is. Let's take a quick walk out here and take a look at this Navien. This is probably one of the tightest installs I've ever done. Exhaust and intake labeled per. We follow mass code for the most part. We use the motion pumps. We put up purges on the top, so you're very easily serviced. We end up with purges on the returns as well, so it's very, very, very easy to service this boiler down the road. There's a ton going on here, of course, but one of the things we do here is incoming water gets a filter. This is a 50 micron mesh stainless. This will help eliminate some of those service calls, the nuisance stuff. The Calefi angle mixing valve. This thing is beautiful. We love these. Very, very easy to change out if there's ever an issue. Calefi vacuum relief valve. We've got purges on both the supply and return from the boiler loop. This is a heat only boiler. This is the coolest thing to talk about here, the hydraulic separator. These pretty much come standard on almost every system unless it's very small. We fully design all of our piping layouts and arrangements in-house. And then we take a look at one of the best boiler manufacturers on the market, good old Navien. We also take and we set you up with what's called isolation flush valves so that we can flush the heat exchanger if needed. Nice Amtrol expansion tank, and as always, the GFCI there at the boiler shutoff. The other shutoff switch is over here, outside the room, just as it's supposed to be. And then one of our favorite controls, we use the Tecmars, just because I'm not a big fan of Taco's control anymore after they switched to the Bluetooth stuff. Yeah, you know, we put a neutralizer on every boiler. This is one thing that almost seems to get just missed, or people just don't care to put them on. If you don't have one of these, the acidity of the condensate when the boiler is below 140 degrees, in about 5 years will start to destroy your septic system. So you're gonna want one of these guys. These beads need to be pretty much changed yearly, if not every other year. So there are some gas wall hung manufacturers that tell you that you can go 5 years without service. Don't do that. It's within your best interests to typically have somebody take a look at the job at least once a year, if anything, to just do a safety check. And realistically, just put their eyes on the system. We also, this is the Viessmann Vitacell 300V. This is a 42-gallon hot water heater. This guy is beautiful. We can actually, it's kind of a little bit of a mess because I'm not completely done, but this cap comes off, and like I've explained in my other videos, we can take and actually look at the coil, and then we can take and flush the system as well. So we hope to get you the full lifespan of the water heater if you allow us to take and draw it down and take and do a flush of it. If not, really yearly, it might be a little too much, but let's say, you know, at least every other year would be a good idea. And our layouts are set up always so that way there. In this instance, it would be very tough, but we add the ability to be able to continue to add on to the system if needed in the future. So as you can see, everything's nice and straight. I would have loved to have hidden this wiring in the wall, but it was an afterthought, unfortunately. But just look how beautiful that looks, guys. You know, this is a very, very tight install. Thanks for watching the video.